The following is a presentation of TFNN. Trade what you see with Larry Pesavento. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, Larry Pesavento.
Okay, looking good, Billy Ray. Feeling good, Lewis. Let's take a look at that German DAX. As you can see, we've had a little bit of a bounce here coming off of those patterns that we've seen down there, the double bottom with the big ABCD. If we take a quick look at the let's try it again, Larry. Let's take a quick look at the FTSE. You'll notice that that has been the bearish. We went down. It did make a double bottom, perfect ABCD, and now we're having a little bit of a rally. A lot of this is related to the Brexit, and of course, you know, we're heading down. The euro is giving up the ghost today, folks. We'll cover that first, but we need to pay close attention to the gold market today. One of our good friends here in the den, Mr. Z, also known as JC, and we'll put this chart up so you folks can take a look at it. You'll notice that we've been bearish gold up since that 1242 level. Let's just hopefully we can get that in there. Yeah, I think that'll get us there. You'll notice that we're now down touching those old highs, so we need to pay attention. We're also down $30 from the high. And, of course, the harmonic number in gold is $34, so we're due for a counter trend rally. But folks, this gold chart is so bearish that it's just it's actually scary. And boo, it's Halloween. By the way, I am going as a Italian cowboy today as my costume. We have trick-or-treaters here in Tucson, but they have to be finished by 5 o'clock because no one's allowed to stay out after dark here in our community. So it goes very, very quickly. Folks, on last Friday, we completed all of those major patterns that we were watching. We went through each one of them. Amazon, Apple, Facebook, all of them. I mean, Google, every single one of them, you know, spot on. So it's important now that we remember that how much we're going to rally here is going to be the key to what's going to happen in November. Now, let's take a quick look at Softy here, because this was the last one to make the pattern here. If you'll notice, it completed its ABCD pattern exactly to the exact price, which was $100. And, of course, it's rallied quite a bit since that time. But the perfect ABCD on that came in at $100, and that's where it stopped. The ABCD on the upside went to 116. We've really done very little here in this month they called Red October. You know, we're down, what, 8 or 9%, but really that's not very much given the fact that, you know, we've had a couple of bad days, but this was nothing like October of any other year. So this low that we made last week on Friday is a really key low. We hit so many numbers there that is really big. Let me explain to you from a technical standpoint what that means. If you'll remember back in August of 2008, we came down on August the 15th. I remember it very vividly because I was a guest on Tom's show. I was out of Las Vegas at one of the money shows, and Skype was out of business that day. They were shut down for some reason. The Dow Jones was down 300 points, and that was at a much lower level. Believe it or not, folks, with the Dow down 300 points, the actual Russell 2000 was up on the day, and the NASDAQ was down just fractionally. So, boy, if it was ever telling you that the market wanted to go higher, you know, that was it. And, of course, the next day off it went, and it went up to make its high on October the 7th, and from there she went down. The key point here is that was that August 15th date. Many, many patterns completed there. I mean, just absolutely one after another. Once those patterns were broken in early October, that was telegraphing that that cycle was finished and we were on our way down. That's the same situation that we have here in the stock market. If we go below those lows of last Friday, this puppy is not finished. It really isn't. It's just there's a possibility, you know, that we could go down, you know, a little bit lower. Who knows? We'll have to, you know, do one thing at a time. Another one of our folks here brought to our attention, since we were talking about Amazon yesterday right on the open, they couldn't help but to add this to our little schedule today. And we'll put up, this was Amazon. You'll notice that we opened down at $14.86. We rallied $50 up to $15.42. We came down and touched the open again at $14.84, within $2. I don't know if $14.86 was the exact open, but it was in that range. We hit $14.86, which was a perfect A, B, C, D pattern. You can see it right there, absolutely perfect. And these are not small swings. These are $60 swings, folks. And from there, off she went. So pay attention to that open price. By the way, we have a very, very special guest today on Halloween. Paula Douglas, Mark's wife, is going to be my guest. She's continuing to carry on Mark's work, and she's going to be talking to us today at the break. I met Paula, oh my gosh, 3 decades ago, 1983, and we have been very, very close ever since. She's the reason why they moved to Tucson. She loved it very much, but after she got here, she didn't like the fact that they roll up the sidewalks at 6 o'clock at night, and they moved on to Scottsdale after about 3 years here. But they came here in August the 16th of 1987. I'll never forget that day. I picked them up at the airport, dropped them off at their house, came to my house, and I couldn't get in the garage because all electricity was out. We were in the midst of a monsoon storm, and my house had the biggest tree in the whole neighborhood. It must have been 100 feet high, and I heard this tremendous sound and cracking sound, and I realized lightning had hit the tree, and I saw the tree split in half. Half of it fell into the street, and half of it came directly into my master bathroom and filled my house up with about 4 inches of water. Did about $28,000 worth of damage, all covered by insurance, but that was a very scary day. You know, it was really, really memorable. But anyway, that was also the day that Elvis passed away. Not the same day, of course. He died in 75. This was 1997. But anyway, we'll be talking with Paula. And I think she has some special things that she wanted to go over with you. But she knows everything about what Mark did, because she was there by his side the whole time. They did just about, absolutely everything together. Now, let's remember now, folks, the bond market, folks. Remember, we were talking about that bond market. Mr. Z was talking about shorting it up there in that 139 and change level. We're now coming down to that 138 level. That's a very key level to watch today, because that is a 61% retracement. It's also an ABCD on the hourly chart. So if you want to watch something unfold, keep an eye on that bond chart, because if it's still bullish, it's going to stop right in here. And of course, if it doesn't, then it's going to be a lot less. Anyway, I will post another chart here in just a second. I wanted to show you the euro, because we are giving up the ghost now in the euro. We are below, I think we're right at one. Last time I checked, we were right at the 113 level. We're down at that double bottom again at 113.10, but it looks like it's heading down to the 112.50 level. That also lines up with that dollar index. If we talked about that several times this week, of breaking out above that 97 level. And folks, if it does, even if it does, it's going to be a big move. And we'll cover that when we get back from this break.
The TAS Profile Scanner Plus, developed by John Logan and his team, is a standalone piece of software that can change the way you trade. Let the TAS Profile Scanner work for you by scanning over 5,000 financial instruments such as stocks, ETFs, commodities, futures, and Forex. Right now, you can get a 30-day free trial to the TAS Profile Scanner Plus right at TFNN.com. And when you sign up, you gain instant access to John Logan's most recent webinar, How Price, Volume, and Time Make Market Profiles So Unique. This hour-long webinar with John Logan will walk you through the most powerful features of the scanner and how you can use it to become a more successful and profitable trader. You pay absolutely nothing for 30 days while you try out this software risk-free. For more information on the TAS Profile Scanner and to get your 30-day free trial today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all of the charts as they happen live and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com.
The Path of Least Resistance, David White's daily market letter, gives you trade recommendations based on David's proprietary power law vector indicator that put the odds of success overwhelmingly in your favor. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price for each stock and option trade. David combines his years of trading experience along with his background in technology and computing to offer his subscribers his take on the markets on a daily basis. Every trading day by 9:30, David publishes his morning issue of The Path of Least Resistance, along with updates sent out throughout the week whenever there is new actionable trading information. All new subscribers receive a 30-day, no questions asked money-back guarantee. To sign up for David White's daily trading newsletter right now, visit the front page of TFNN.com and you'll find The Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters. TFNN has launched our brand new website. You can still visit us at the same TFNN.com URL, but when you do, you'll see a new and improved homepage with a much simpler navigation, whether you're watching Tiger TV live in high definition or just accessing your newsletter subscriptions. We even have new pricing in 6 months and yearly options. Check out the new TFNN.com now and experience all the upgrades. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Okay, folks, let's take a look at this dollar index. We've been watching it for quite some time. We are now up at that level of 97. The euro is breaking down. We just hit the 113 level, and I think I'm going to switch over to the euro and show it to you because this is what people usually trade with this. You'll notice the weekly chart that we have here is the we're breaking below. We are below it, because we're trading at the 113 level now. We have broke that support at the 61% retracement, but more importantly than that, folks, we broke that support, and this is a weekly chart. After we rallied for 6 weeks, that stopped exactly at the 382 level at 118.10. And if you remember, we were on the show when that was happening, and we were making a beautiful 3-drive pattern at that time. We said you can short it there with about a 40 pip stop, and it turned down and never looked back, and it gives a price objective of possibly 106. That's what the ABCD structure looks like. We've seen that work in all of the stocks that we were following during Red October. All of those ABCD patterns completed, every single one of them. So I think that's important to remember that ABCD patterns, even though they're far from perfect, I mean, they've had some pretty big moves in here. Even Amazon. Let's just look at Amazon, because I really liked Amazon here, because if you remember, we had the ABCD structure in Amazon that we spoke yesterday as it was gapping down $40. If you notice that point D came in at 1,500, but 1.618 expansion of that swing came in at 1476, and that was a flat out low tick of Amazon. And from there, we rallied all the way up to, I don't know where it is today. It was 1550 yesterday. But these numbers and patterns don't always work. But when they do, they're very exciting to watch them unfold. That's really what you're hoping for when you see some of these things happen. But we're at a real key level here. We had the same thing here happen with look what happened with Netflix, folks. And this was several days after. Look at that perfect 78% level, hit it exactly perfectly. The difference between the D point and the actual ratio was about $6. And remember, when you're doing pattern recognition, the ratios take precedence over the over the patterns themselves, and that's because Einstein believed that numbers preceded geometry, and I don't know. Well, he's a pretty smart dude. I'll have to leave that in his hands. So we'll keep an eye on it. But we are starting to see some of these things happen. We also saw that big move in Facebook. And let's get this up so you can take a look at it. We're trading up and around the 151 level right now. Uh-oh, just a second here. We've got a little trouble in River City. Hold on just a second. There we go. And we're up in that 151 level, so we'll keep a close eye on some of these as we walk through some of the patterns. Now, we've had a question about the Australian dollar. It's trading 155. Okay, so it's up about 11, 12 bucks. That's about a 10% move in one day, which isn't too bad. How far these things go, well, we're going to find out for sure, but we'll keep a very close eye on it. Here is where we were the other day when we were talking here on Monday. When we first came in, we were looking for a pretty big move here in the stock market. You'll notice that we had the 3 drive to a bottom pattern, absolutely spot on there on the 29th. You'll notice we had the really strong rally. We had the pullback, and that gave us a target up here of around 2703. We've been to 2714 so far this morning, taking out that high of the 29th. So that has been a pretty good move. Whether hopefully you were able to take a little bit of advantage of that. Certainly you shouldn't have been too bearish, because we were screaming the fact that all these patterns had hit on all these things, that it certainly must have meant something, because of the fact that the way that they did it. I mean, it was really quite spectacular. And if you remember, we used the phrase in the newsletter about following the money. And if we looked at the banking stock index, you'll notice that it went down to the 78% level, exactly a 1.618 expansion of the CD leg, double ABCD patterns, a 3 drive to a bottom pattern, and that completed that target. And now we're having a pretty good reaction. We've already gone 7% up in just a matter of a few days. How high we're going to get, remains to be seen. But what we're trying to do is put the patterns and the ratios together to give you a pretty good idea of what you're looking at. I still think those of you that are having trouble with trading and you're not making any money, pay attention to that opening price, folks. That opening price is a really a good thing. That we just showed you the example of Amazon last night, or what happened yesterday. I mean, it opened. Well, let's don't go over it again. I don't want to rehash it again. But pay attention to that opening price. It really does mean anything. It means something, and most people don't pay any attention to it. If you practice with it a little bit, you'll see that you will be it'll put the odds in your favor, and it'll put the money in your pocket, and that's the real key to do this. That's the main thing of what we're watching here. Several people have asked me if the bear market is over. Folks, this bear market is going to be with us for a while. Get used to it. The volatility, we've seen virtually nothing in volatility. That was another reason to think that this market wasn't going to drop much lower than it went on the 29th of October. And but that's that was just an assumption based on where the money was flowing. There weren't people taking big protection in the VIX index. Nobody was scared, and you can see why. There was no reason to be scared now. That's the key to watch. Now, we've had a pretty good rally here the last couple days in the let's get this up here in the Japanese market. We were up about 3% 2 days in a row. We didn't quite make the ABCD structure as of yet. We might still, but we did rally quite a bit in the Nikkei, and also the Hang Seng also came back about almost 1,000 points. We got, but not quite. We got down to 24,200, and we closed at 25,000 in the Hang Seng, but it has not given any type of a buy pattern at all. It's just pretty good even. David, you're telling that story about Mark Douglas. I was in the room when that happened. I know the broker that I know the guy who was making the talk, the GAN trader, and the guy, the bean trader that did that happened to be someone who I've known for quite a while, and he put an order in. He didn't sell 2 million bushels. It was a market. It was a lot less than that. It was about, I think he sold about 100 contracts contracts, and I don't know how many bushels that would have been. That would have been 500,000, and yeah, 100 contracts, and it just, I mean, it just literally went through the markets like, you know, like melted butter, and Rick said to the guy, he said, if I can do this, anybody can do it. That's why you've got to protect yourself. And Mark's always said, if anything can happen in the market, and it usually does, so you need to protect yourself when you do that. Oh, I had so many stories. We're going to share some of them, hopefully, with Paula when she comes on at the half hour, and we'll chat with her a little bit. But very, very good friend. Love those guys both. Anyway, you guys take it easy. I'm going to be back with you and just after we take a break. 877-927-6648.
Larry Pesavento has just started his brand new service, Fibonacci 24/7, and he's already delivering content to his subscribers on a daily basis when the market's opened and even on weekends. Each Monday, you'll receive Larry's written report that provides detailed commentary and a summary on the charts and videos that Larry sends out. And throughout the week, when warranted, Larry will send out via charts or videos or both the key markets that he is watching during the day. This will be up-to-the-date, active trading information that will help you in your daily trading. In Larry's first week alone, he sent out 25 charts, 6 videos, and a full report to his subscribers in just 1 week. If you're a technical trader that uses patterns and retracements to trade, then Larry's service Fibonacci 24/7 is something that you must try. Right now, new subscribers can get a full 30-day money-back guarantee. With nothing to risk, sign up now to Larry Pesavento's Fibonacci 24/7 by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under Trading Newsletters. In quiet markets, investors search for new trading opportunities. We'd like to introduce you to a new product that provides opportunities even in flat markets. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a new and innovative Chicago-based exchange registered with the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their trading platform. Nadex never charges a fee to use their platform, which even includes real-time charts and full customization capability. Nadex's unique short-term binary options allow traders and investors to capitalize on strategies even when the underlying markets are quiet. Nadex's innovation has allowed them to come up with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com, or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors. TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartleys, ABCs, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Okay, we're back, folks, and we have Paula Douglas on the line. Paula, are you there? Good morning to you. I hate to get you up at 6:30 in the morning, but this is the only way we can do it, young lady. Folks, let me explain something to you. I met Paula when she was just a little whippersnapper in Illinois. Mark and Paula had just met. Paula, weren't you like Kellyanne Conway to one of those one of those politicians in my memory goes back.
Sort of.
Yeah, I knew it was something like that. But anyway, it was you helped Mark, and we traveled so much, and oh my gosh, Paula and Mark and I were the three Musketeers, and then when Sarah came along, we were the four Musketeers. So, how are you doing over there in Palm Springs? Do you still like it?
Oh, I love it. Absolutely love it.
That's good. Well, tell the folks what you're doing now, and how they get in touch with you, and anything else we can do to, because you basically watched and did you did everything that Mark did, because a lot of the stuff you proofread everything. So go ahead, tell the folks what you're doing, Paula.
Okay. Well, Ginger Rogers always said that she danced just as well as Fred Astaire, but only she had to do it backwards. And I'll kind of I kind of equate that to Mark and I, because we were kind of brick and brack, frick and frack, zig and zag, whatever you want to call it. We pretty much did everything together. And if you'll recall, Larry, when he first started writing The Disciplined Trader, all he had were a stack of legal pads of handwritten notes, and I think he showed that to you on many occasions. And I had to take his chicken scratch, which his handwriting literally was like, and formulate that into actual words on a page in the computer. So from the very beginning, I was fascinated with his mind and his work, and we began a collaboration in the 1980s, which goes on through today. Yeah. So what we've done the last couple years is I updated The Disciplined Trader, which is now available as a Kindle, called Becoming the Disciplined Trader. And what Mark and I had worked on before he left us was to update it and make it more current for today's trader, because that book was written really when day trading on the trading floor was at its height. And so we just updated it, and I completed it, and we got that out earlier this year. And that's been really, really exciting. And of course, I'm still doing coaching for anybody who has a crisis or someone who just wants me to hold their hand. I'm here. So, and you can do that on the phone, or you can come visit me in Palm Springs, and we can do a one-on-one workshop. I did a couple of those this year, and those were really, really a lot of fun. And you learn a lot.
Paula, we ought to do a workshop together, because when Mark and I did the one that we did here back in '96, and before you guys moved to Tucson, it was really fun. And we, of course, we always made it that people had to make money or they got their money back, which was always fun. We ought to do one of those. Palm Springs would be a good time to do it too, because the weather there is so nice in the wintertime. Maybe we should look into that, and maybe do a seminar where folks would come in. We could teach for a day and trade for a day. I think that would be a lot of fun to try to do something like that. We used to do those in Chicago every year, if you remember. Gosh, we had so much fun. Folks, one of the things we used to do, Paul and Mark had a beautiful apartment up on the, what was the 35th floor? What floor were you on?
25th, yeah.
25th, yeah. Anyway, they had the air show every July, and these guys in their F-16 would keep flying right by the windows, and these girls on the top of the buildings would have these giant phone numbers put up, and they were standing naked. I'll never forget that. Oh gosh, it was so funny. Anyway,
that's right, because the announcer even said that on the radio, that because the pilots flew right over the top of the building where the girls were sunbathing, and they startled the girls, and they stood up, and of course, they didn't have any tops on, and so the pilots told the radio announcer that they just got quite the show.
Yeah, those were the old days. Paula, how about the audio book for Mark? Did you ever do that?
Well, we just have a new audio recording of Trading in the Zone, and that just came out, I think, in May of this year. And it's much better than the original one, in my opinion. I actually was part of the process, and I chose the reader, the professional reader. So I think if you guys don't have a copy of that, you might want to look into that, because it's really much better than the first one, because this reader knows about the industry, whereas the original reader was just a professional reader. So not saying that he was not good, but this one is much better. So we'll check that out. And in 2019, this coming year, we're going to do the audio book of Becoming the Disciplined Trader. So, So we're working on things. It just takes a little longer than I thought.
Yeah, I remember Mark was really involved with Neil Walsh, and he was really big in meditation. Didn't he have a meditation tape that I think he gave it to me, and I don't remember what I did with it. But isn't there one available that?
Yes, it's called Meditation for Traders, and it's actually my meditation that I wrote. But of course, Mark gave me an A+ on it when he read the script, and it's really a good meditation tape if you're familiar with meditation and visualization. And if you're not familiar with that, then the tape's probably not going to be that beneficial to you, because the tape takes you through a step-by-step process of understanding that there is unlimited abundance for you to take out of the markets. There really is. But if you don't believe that, well, you know, the tape isn't going to be worth whatever the postage to send it to you. So, but it's very popular. I have a hard time keeping it in stock, and you know, you can get it through me. I'm happy to send it out to you. It's $14.95. So just send me an email, and I'm happy to send it out.
What is the best way to reach you, Paula? Is it still www.markdouglas.com?
Yep.
Or Paula Webb?
Or paulatwebb.com. Either one will find me.
Paula T. Tomasini.
That's right. You got it.
You know, it's hard to believe.
It, Larry.
Oh, gosh.
Paula T, and I always will be.
That's for sure. Paula T is the princess of Roditi's restaurant. It's a big Greek restaurant in Chicago that was there for almost 100 years, and now it's being converted, torn down, and made into a tall condominium building. But my gosh, we ate every Friday there as long as I can remember when we lived there in Chicago. We always had a good time. Oh my goodness. I remember the day we had that big party, and there were 11 of us, and the guy brought the food out, these giant lobsters, and Robert St. John, he ate so fast, folks, that by the time the guy walked around, his plate was empty. The other guy picked up the plate and walked away, and so the guy didn't think that anybody had brought him a lobster, so they brought Robert another lobster, and he ate that one too.
Yeah, that's right. That was hysterical.
Oh my God, it was so funny. We had the hockey players there from the 1980 hockey team. We had a great party that night too. Oh my God. Well, listen, we're going to have you on again, and tell the folks how they can reach you again, so that we can.
You can reach me at www.markdouglas.com or www.paulatwebb.com. You
be good, girl. I'll be seeing you soon.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, come over to the spa.
I will.
Okay, thanks a lot, PT. See you later. Bye-bye.
Are you in the market for buying or selling real estate in the Bay Area, including the surrounding St. Petersburg, Tampa, and Clearwater markets? Tiger Real Estate LLC is a firm that has extensive experience in the Tampa Bay area. Whether you're looking to sell your current property for maximum value, or you're in the market for a second home or investment property, Tiger Realty has the experience across all areas of real estate in the Tampa Bay area to help buyers and sellers make the most informed decisions across all price levels. From the price you should be paying per square foot in certain up-and-coming areas to the type of cash flow investment properties are capable of creating, Tiger Real Estate can help you make the best decision when it comes to all areas of the market. Before you make one of the biggest decisions of your financial future, call Tiger Real Estate LLC today at 727-329-8322 or email us at tiger@tfnn.com. That's 727-329-8322. Call us today.
Jason Path has just launched his weekly newsletter, The Quantitative Edge, available only at TFNN.com. Right now, you can sign up for Jason's outstanding weekly report, including midweek updates whenever warranted, with a 30-day money-back guarantee included, so you have nothing to risk. Jason develops his trade recommendations by creating an ensemble of predictive and mathematical models trained on data by leveraging a variety of techniques, including market-based computer simulations. Jason Jason then combines these sophisticated predictive and analytical models with deeply researched macro outlooks to identify opportunities in a number of different markets for traders to act on. Whether you're looking to trade futures, equities, commodities like crude oil and gold, forex, or cryptos, Jason covers it all. Sign up for Jason Paff's weekly trading newsletter right now by visiting the front page of TFNN.com, and you'll find the Quantitative Edge under the Newsletters tab. TFNN.com, educating investors. Biotech is booming, but for how long? Whether you think the biotech bull has room to run or has run its course, trade LABU or LABD. Direction's daily S&P Biotech 3 times bull and bear ETFs. Visit directioninvestments.com/biotech today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
The Bull Bear Binary Option Hour, brought to you by Nadex. Next on TFNN.
Okay, we're back, folks, and Rich Anderson was kind enough to send on this next graph that shows that the stock indices have a tendency to break really badly in a bear market the last hour of trading. So always watch that last hour, because it can really be, quite important. As you can see from this graph, these some of these returns have been, really quite spectacular. So pay attention to that. Now the gold, we're just hitting that line that Mr. Z posted this morning at $12.14 per ounce. That brings us down $32. Roughly $32. Remember that the harmonic number in the gold is $34. So sort of pay attention to that. It's going to be pretty much spot on if it does hold that level, and then has a rally. The last rallies that we've had in the gold have been between $7 and $9. Folks, the long-term gold chart is so very, very bearish that it's absolutely scary. That's the only way I can describe it. I'll just put it up here to let you folks take a look at it again. We were really big buyers of that stuff down there when it was $11.85, and we got out of it at $12.35. Let's try this again. When it got down to $11.85, that was a beautiful 61% retracement, and we got up to $12.46 was the high, was a 61%, 38.2% retracement. It was also an ABCD pattern. Folks, if you realize that this market took from August to October to go $170. Look what happened in last December when it took off. It rallied $300. Look what happened in November. It rallied $180. So this is a really, really weak rally, given the fact that it stopped exactly at the 382 level. I don't know if it means that much under those things, so we'll see what's going on. Yes, the VIX index is starting to sell off a little bit, as it should. It never really wanted to go anywhere, folks. That was one of the things that we talked about, in the newsletter this week, and the fact that we had all those patterns lining up that showed you that there was very little excitement in the VIX, and now we're down. We just broke 22 to the downside. But back in January, when we had the big drop between January and February, if you remember, the VIX got all the way up to 51, and that was in one day. That showed you, and that was a 50% retracement of the high from 2009. So there's virtually nothing going on in the volatility index as of yet. It will, because I believe you're going to see great volatility coming in here. To pay attention to these things, because it is going to be very interesting to see, how they unfold as we go through here this morning. But that's what we're watching here early this morning. We have a couple other questions that people have asked about. One is the NASDAQ composite, and I'll be happy to bring that one up to you. Hopefully we can find it. Where is it here? Shut the front door and raise the rent. You know what? I'll have to use the big one, I guess. Hold on. Yeah, let me use the, this is the big composite here. And you'll notice that we didn't quite make the, we didn't make it on the big composite, but we did. We made the 61% retracement, of course. But the little Nasdaq, well, it's really the big Nasdaq. The 100 did make that number, but I didn't post that nearly as much. So we'll see what we have going on here this morning with some of these things as we have a lot of strength coming in. And silver is silver looks like, folks, it's heading down to the $14 level. We're trading at around 29 and 20, well, 14.20 and change. It certainly looks like 20 cents is nothing in silver anymore, and we are at this critical level, so we'll pay attention to that to see if it's going to hold, but that's neither here nor there, so we'll watch it. Someone's asked a question about the social networking stocks, and frankly, folks, I've never had a social networking account, so I know very little about them. All I know is I look at the charts for all of them, and they don't. The chart for Facebook, it's completed a whole bunch of patterns. I mean, you can just, let's see, where is it here? I got it somewhere. I know I have Facebook, because that's one I always talk about. Yeah, here it is right here. Let's get the Facebook up, and you'll be able to see that we've had a pretty good rally. It's trading about 156, they said this morning. So that would be back up into that zone there. So there's a certain bottom has certainly come through on that. So that's another one that looks, very, very interesting. And of course, we started out gangbusters in the stocks today, and how much we're going to continue or not, we'll have to, to wait and see. We got up to 27.17 in the E-mini S&P. Stop and thinks, folks. We were 118 points lower just a few days ago when we were making that pre-drive to a bottom pattern, and here we are setting at 27.17. The gold's still trading at 12.14. The risk here, if you're going to buy it, you're down $32, so the harmonic number is 34. And so if you wanted to buy the gold in this area here, you wouldn't have to risk more than $5 an ounce. And when you got a contract that's worth $121,000, $5 an ounce is not that much. So that's it. Now the grains are still under some pressure, and that's probably related. It can't be related to the harvesting anymore, but it could be related to all the tariff stuff that's going on. But the key to all these things is related to that euro. We're trading at the 113.11 right now. Anything below 113 sends this thing, much lower, and below 112 you're going to be looking at 106. And if we have a giant trade war, that 106 could happen very, very quickly. And with Angela Merkel leaving Germany, who was one of the brainchilds of getting this euro thing going many, many years ago, that would not be a good sign. And the trouble what they're having in Italy is also an interesting thing to keep an eye on also. So the big things happening, especially in these currencies, folks, that this euro is spot on. You've got to pay close attention. If you remember when we were looking at these social networking stocks, when they broke those numbers below those 382s, that told you that the market really wanted to go lower. That was way back in September, in mid-September when all that was happening. Now here we're in red October, and you can't get anybody to listen to you. But that's the way it goes, darling. That's the way it goes. Folks, if you really want to do something for yourself, I would really take a look at those tapes from Paula. Those meditation tapes are really great. They are. I happen to use a different set of meditation tapes, but those are very, very good, and they're related to trading. And for $14.95, that's a cost of half a bottle of good wine, or 4 good bottles here in Tucson at my house, because I'm a $2 Chuck guy. All right, let's take a look here at one other thing, and that is the Treasury bonds, folks. We got down to that level of 138, spot on. That must hold that level, because if it doesn't, that means rates are going to start to spiral again, and that's going to be a nasty thing to look at. So pay attention to that. It's not going to be easy, but it never is. Trading is simple, but it's not easy. You got to protect your backside, because if you don't, no one else is going to protect you. Remember, these FANG stocks were the ones that told us that the bottom was in, and then we will see. Does anyone think this rally will continue through Monday? Everybody that hears the sound of one hand clapping, raise their hand. No one knows that. sir. No one knows that. That's the key to trading. No one knows what's going to happen next. The only thing you can protect yourself is with your risk. You got to take care of your risk. Watch your risk. Who loves you, baby? We'll be right back.
I'm certain you are or strive to be one of the best at everything you do in life. It's the most common trait that we tigers and tigresses share. If you're looking to become the best of the best when it comes to managing your money, let me teach you to do what most wealth managers tell you can't be done, which is how to time the markets. I'm Steve Rhodes, author of Mastering Probability, and for the last 12 months, Timer Digest has been tracking my newsletter signals, which have earned me the ranking as their #1 market timer in the nation for the S&P 500 for the last 12, 6, and 3 months. Timer Digest also ranks me as the #1 market timer for gold as well. The fact is, markets can be timed, and I'll teach you the exact set of tools that I use that has transformed me into one of the best at what I do. Sign up for Mastering Probability today by clicking on the newsletter tab on the homepage of TFNN.com and get immediate access to workshops where I take you step by step how to use an extraordinary set of tools as well as provide great market calls too. Sign up today.
No matter what kind of trader you are, 2018 is a great time to try out a subscription to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report. Whether you just plan on diversifying your portfolio with some exposure to gold and gold mining equities, or you're a gold bull that sees 2018 as the year of commodities, now is a great time to sign up for the Gold Report. Tom O'Brien publishes his Gold Report every Monday morning before the market opens and covers a variety of topics including gold, silver, platinum, copper, the XAU and HUI, the dollar, bonds, South African rand, as well as more than 20 of the most actively traded mining equities. Start your 2018 off with a bang and sign up for the Gold Report today. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. For all the details and to start your subscription right now, visit the front page of TFNN.com and you'll find the Gold Report under Investment Newsletters. Since 1984, Basil Chapman has been using the Chapman Wave methodology to advise traders of his expert market opinion. While originally hand-drawing charts from the late 1970s into the 1980s, Basil noticed that prices under most circumstances virtually always had a certain number of legs to the upside before declining sharply. Later, Basil found that computer software, which included the standard market technical indicators, enhanced the degree of accuracy in calling price turns as well as market trend calls. Thus was born the Chapman Wave sequence. Using the Chapman Wave methodology along with other indicators, Basil Chapman advises his subscribers of his expert market opinion each market day with his opening call newsletter. Right now, you can get a 2-week free trial to the opening call, Basil's daily trading newsletter, by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Cancel at any time during that trial and pay absolutely nothing. Get your 2-week free trial to Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, today by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Okay, we're back, folks, and we're going to take a quick look at the crude oil. As you can see, we've been in a downtrend for the past, several weeks. Next 2 weeks, we had that big 61% retracement on the weekly chart, hit at $72 a barrel. We're now trading at 65 and change, and that looks like the change is given up pretty quickly here because we're near the 78% level that must hold, or, we're going to see another leg down. This is a perfect example, folks, of a market that has everything going for it as far as potential bullish news with all the things that happened in Saudi Arabia and Iran, and yet nothing really happened. This is a sign that you must pay close attention to what your risk factor is, because if markets don't go up when they have good news, they only have one way to go, and that's to the downside. So try to keep that in mind as you're looking at some of these things, because it's really, it'll be ready. So we'll see what see what's going on. By the way, if you should get a chance to listen to Basil's program yesterday, it was absolutely excellent. Basil does some great work, as does Steve Rhodes. I mean, I've known these folks, David White, for a long time, and they have some great stuff out there. And but anyway, the TFNN is a great place to go if you want to help with your trading, good ideas and stuff. You know, that's really what we're looking at here. So pay close attention to these markets, folks, because we're at a real critical levels here, and I think we're going to see some more volatility coming very, very shortly. So pay attention and live every day in an attitude of gratitude, and may God bless. And one other thing, if you want to get in touch with Paula Webb, it's Paula T. Webb, W-E-B-B, at .com, or Mark Douglas, and that is Douglas with one S. I always had that drilled into me through the other years. But those things about the positive affirmations and stuff that are in those recordings is really, really great stuff if you've never done anything like that before. But if you can do visualization, you know, think about what's going on. It's great stuff. 877-927-6648. May God bless.
Hi folks, Tom O'Brien here. If you'd like to get my daily newsletter, Market Insights, then now is a great time to sign up for a 30-day free trial. Every morning by 9:30, I send out my morning letter to subscribers with market commentary on a variety of markets, currencies, and commodities to keep investors up to date on the day's trading action. Included in Market Insights are specific buy and sell recommendations for stocks, ETFs, and even options, with stops and price targets included for every trade in my newsletter. If you'd like to try my newsletter risk-free for 30 days, then head over to the front page of TFNN and you'll find Market Insights under Trading Newsletters. I use my years of trading experience to bisect and dissect the market every morning and give my subscribers the most important information they need to know for the day ahead. I even issue afternoon updates for my subscribers whenever warranted with important market action. I'm always scouring the market for the next great trading opportunity. Sign up for your 30-day free trial to my daily newsletter, Market Insights, today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Wow! Go get them, folks!